Hey, what's up, folks? This is Thomas with Better by the Brooks. Today we got us a DIY project where we're going to be turning this ceiling light combo supply vent HVAC system that's kind of outdated. Um, we're going to be changing that into a ceiling fan and also putting a smaller ductwork vent supply vent somewhere up in the roof. So we're going to get right into it. Um, Today, you know, I'm gonna try to work quick because I got to go up in the attic. And here in South Carolina, we still in summer weather. So right now, we having a cooler day, so I want to try to take advantage of this cooler weather, and that meaning a little bit slightly lower temperature up in this attic. So let's get into it. All right, so this is the light slash combo HVAC. So what that means, obviously we got a light coming through that, but as y'all can see, that has it's a vent as well. So the supply air ductwork is attached to that up in the ceiling, and so the air comes through that. This house was built in 1947, and when I looked it up, these things were pretty much used for commercial buildings. The builder of this home, or the owner of this home, initially was a banker, so he possibly had um, a lot of capital and could afford something like this. This probably was some high tech stuff for that time. Even looking at the way the house was built, they got supplies in the ceiling, registers or returns at the floor. So it's almost like, I guess this person was from up north and not really realizing here in the south it doesn't get that cold, because the idea would be for the heat to come down through the ceiling, but since heat rises, it would need some kind of other situation going on, thus the register or the returns um, on the floor. And so the idea with that is that as heat comes out, it naturally wants to stay up, but the return is more like a vacuum. So that would have the heat coming from the top being pulled down throughout the room, giving a warm feeling throughout the room. But here in South Carolina, we don't really need that. It doesn't get that cold. Um, it doesn't get that cold, so we don't need something like that. And as well, with that duct being that big, the air pressure that's coming through that is very small. It's not like a whole lot. So here in the hotter months or the hotter time in South Carolina, you know, that doesn't prove to be um, efficient or sufficient for the cooling needs that we need down here in the South. So what I'm gonna be doing is we're gonna be taking this out, that whole situation out, and looking to put a supply over here by the window, like right up there somewhere. And it's gonna be a small 6x10 vent up there. And so the first thing I need to do is I'm gonna kill the power, but I gotta go up in the attic and cut the line, the power line for this light. That way I can start taking off the ductwork up top and then be able to disassemble this and pull it out of the ceiling. And then after that, we're gonna be doing some sheetrock patching, some mudding. Well, actually, we're gonna have to do some framing because there's gonna be a big hole inside that thing. So we have to frame it up in order to put our receptacle box for our light fixture that we're going to put in there back in there. So we're going to pull this out. We're going to do some framing. Then we're going to do some sheetrock, some mudding, and then while that's going on, well, while that's waiting to dry and cure, we're going to start on getting this hole cut over here. What I'm gonna do first, since I got to go up in the attic anyway, I'm gonna drill a hole. I'm gonna drill a hole over there. Where is that? Yeah, I'm gonna drill a hole over there just to kind of see, make sure I'm kind of midway with this thing, because I want to try to keep it at least as center as possible. So I'm gonna drill a hole up through there, and then what I'm gonna do once I'm in the attic, I'm gonna put 2 screws down by the studs. Although I got a stud finder, I want to make sure that I'm right at the edge of the stud, because this boot that I have, this vent boot, it has about, it looks like a, let's see, I'll do it this way. So from the part that's going to be coming through the sheetrock right here, it's about a 2 inch, a 1.5 to 2 inch flange on it. So I want to make sure I have clearance on both sides, enough clearance on both sides where I don't have to bend this and fold it just to fit it in there. All right. So all I'm gonna do is eyeballing it as far as centering it up with my light over here, and we're gonna try to get in this area. I'm gonna go about 18 inches off of the, or from the trim, so that should bring us out a good little distance. And able to have our register in the best location possible. It's good to have it by the spot or the place where you're having the most difference in inside temperature and outside temperature. Like saying in the summertime, if we want it to be cool in the house, then the opposite of that will be the heat, and most of the heat or outside temperature comes from things that are closest to the outside, which would be your window. So we're going to try to get in an ideal position close to this window to put this register or to mark our register. So I'm gonna go line it up, get about center, and I'm gonna count 1.5 inches for that trim. So I'm not gonna come out 18, I'll probably come out 16, and we'll call it at 16. All right, so that's gonna be the distance off of the wall. Now I'm gonna just try to roughly locate some studs. Let's see. All right, we got one here. We got another one there. All right. So from this point, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just put a screw up between these two spots. Then when I go up in the attic, I'm gonna put either 2 nails like right alongside of the inside of the studs. That way I know where I can make my mark for this register cutout. All right, so I realized my microphones stopped working. But one of the things when you're doing work like this, when you're going up in the attic, you gotta have a plan. You can't be up there bum fumbling around. Because here in South Carolina in the South, during the summer we have some hectic months where it's hot. Today is just a more milder day. As y'all can see, I got a screen recording on my cell phone at 76 degrees outside. Um, during this part of summer, and this is a cool day. Inside, we had 78 degrees inside the house. And so, what I'm gonna do right here is just give y'all a glimpse of what the temperature looks like up in the attic. So we had 76 degrees outside, 78 degrees inside, and we're real close to about almost a 20-degree difference as far as what is going on up in the attic. So that's why you want to be wise when you decide you're going to go in the attic. Don't wait on the hottest day to try to go up there. Um, and so, we're gonna have a plan. Pretty much, I'm gonna go turn on off this electric because as y'all saw, we had a light on, and anytime you're dealing with electricity, you definitely want to cut the power. Right here is our breaker box, which every house should have. This connects your inside house appliances and everything else to the outside electricity. And so you want to find the breaker that's relevant to the item that you're trying to shut the power off to. When we put this stuff in, I made a notation of all of the rooms and outlets and lights that is on a particular breaker. So here I know that the breaker that I'm looking for is number 19 on this left side. And that's one thing you want to do. I'll say it again. Anytime you're dealing with anything that has electricity to it, cut the power off at the source. Definitely cut the power off at the source because you don't need to be dying. All right, so it's already got the power off. These are the two wires that I'm going for. I know we were going to be cutting these things, so definitely made sure that I had the power off. And not only that, I always bring with me either my multimeter tool or my voltage pin. Right here, pretty much this is what I got. I got a voltage pin. It's it's easy to carry. Put it in your pocket whenever you're dealing with electricity. All you have to do is one button cuts it on. You'll see a green light come on. Yeah, you see the green light come on. Um, Pretty much, I think I held it too long. So you just push it one time and the green light comes on. And anytime you close the power, once you get that to anywhere that there's power, that green light will turn red. So I'm gonna check that real quick on these wires that I'm about to cut because I rather double check, triple check, because it's best to take the couple seconds to check it than, dying in the attic when nobody knows I'm up there. So there we go. Cut it and nothing happened because we don't have any power to that. All right, so the next thing, since I got the power disconnected, what I'm gonna do is this light, like I was saying earlier, it has ductwork connected to it. So the wires went to the light, and that you can see that there's a boot on top of this thing, and there's ductwork attached to it. Normally, what they do, the outer casing of the ductwork, they put a big zip tie on it, which also I just cut right there. And then after that, I'll roll back that insulation, and that's going to reveal the inner tubing that's connected to the boot of this HVAC ductwork here that's connected to this light. And so what I'm gonna just do, same thing. I'm gonna clip, get it off there, and we're gonna um, we're gonna see about getting this boot here off. Um, and pretty much they put it on real tight, because they don't want that thing slipping off, and because you don't want to be having to come in the attic and do stuff like this because it wasn't done good in the first place. So the people who did it, they put it on real tight, and once you get that zip tie cut off, it just slips right off, boot off the top of this light, and there it is. So, like I said, I got a plan. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna head over to the edge of this attic in order to get to where we're gonna put that new register. So as I'm over here, I was just being mindful. Like when you're up in the attic, you want to have a plan, and you will definitely want to be mindful of what you're doing because it is hot, especially in the summer months. You don't want to be up there, trying to, rethink your plan or add to your plan. You just want to get up there, do what you said you was going to do, and get out. Because it's hot. I haven't been up there for even 5 minutes, and y'all can already see like my forehead's getting shiny because I'm sweating. It's hot. It's 95 degrees up in the attic, and I think over here it's a little bit hotter. When you're in the attic as well, you got a lot of things to be mindful of. For one is falling through the ceiling, the other is touching on electrical wiring. In this older house, there are a lot of junction boxes up here, and they don't have covers on it. So you want to be, I have to be real mindful when I put my hands. I don't want to put my hand down in the junction box and be touching live wires. Here, this is a wire, and it's nothing like what we have today as far as the Romex. There's some kind of like fabric cloth over that thing. These ungrounded 2 wire, I believe it's aluminum in there. So instead of like touching on those things, because I mean those things fray a lot, and you could be touching like a raw spot in that wire. I don't want to take the chance. So I'm gonna just get that on out of the way as I'm trying to dig, just to make sure it's find out where I put that screw at. And as y'all can see, when you up in the attic, you definitely want to have on some a respiratory device or mask or something, because y'all see with me mixing up with this insulation, it goes dusty really quick, and you don't want to be breathing that stuff in. It's like little crystals and stuff floating around in there. Um, and so you definitely want to have on a dust mask because I mean, just that little disturbing of that insulation, it got a whole bunch of it up. It got a whole bunch of it up. Um, and so, like I said, you want to have a game plan because not only, you dealing with the hazard of touching wires or putting your knee or your foot or your butt in the wrong spot or sitting down and falling through the ceiling, you also in a cramped space, And so right now, and I gotta lay down just to get over here. But as y'all can see where I put my screw at, I located the screw there, and I made it super long. I would say super long. It's about 3.5 inch screw. So that way I can easily find it as I'm just kind of feeling through the insulation. And so now that we got our screw located, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clear out a lot of that insulation. All right. So let me let's see. So we're gonna start moving some of this stuff here out of the way. Because eventually I'm gonna be cutting a hole in that, and I don't need all of that stuff falling on me. So we move some of this stuff here out. And there's our screw right there. So we're gonna put a pin on this side and then one on this side. That way we'll know as far as where our studs are at. All right, so there we go. All right, I'm gonna put this up and then I'm gonna get these I'm gonna put those nails through there. All right, so up in this attic, it's cramped space. I'm off to the corner, so I'm at the edge of the house. So pretty much I gotta lay down just to get in this area over here. Didn't bring a hammer, but I did bring my trusty dusty linesman. So it's heavy enough. We're gonna poke some holes. Hopefully, yep, there we go. All right, so we got one in. And I'm gonna come over this way. Again, I said it is cramped up here. And it's an awkward position of having to lay down and do some of this stuff. Cause like right now I can't even get the leverage to hit that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it at an angle just to get it to bite in the sheetrock first. And then I'll try to straighten that up. All right, so that doesn't look like it wants to cooperate. All right, there we go. All right, so that's it. Let's get up out of this attic. All right, let's do it. All right, so we out of the attic, and man, that was rough. Just being up there for that short while, it's hot, it's cramped, it's dangerous. So, you definitely want to take the time when you get out of that heat, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Man, water never tasted so good. I think I'm enjoying this water a little bit too much. It's a nice break for me because I mean we've been working being up in that attic, like I said, it's rough on the body, it's hard on the knees. I mean you have to be on point. So this is a nice pause in time for all of the work we still gotta go. Because pretty much we just got the attic stuff done right now, and now we gotta get the ceiling light out, and then we gotta get our register cut, register cutout and everything else. So all right.